Guitar Hero on the Nintendo DS. One of the weirdest, oddest, and kind of most satisfying things I've ever seen in my life. So for those of you that don't know, I actually used to play a lot of Guitar Hero, especially when I was a teenager. Guitar Hero on the DS, there's actually 4 different games, and this is an incredibly interesting idea and an interesting take, and the way that they did it is still just so fascinating to me, and it's also incredibly painful. So here what I've got is the Guitar Hero On Tour and the On Tour Decades box set. Didn't actually know that there was like a duo pack until fairly recently, but if you pop this thing in, you might be wondering, how do you play frickin' Guitar Hero that requires a controller where you have to push the fret buttons? This is the guitar grip, and the idea is basically you take your hand, you're gonna slide it into here, you can push the buttons now, then you take your regular DS or your DS Lite, and there you go. Now you just have to bend your wrist so you can see the screen, and there you go. Perfect. Arthritis for your wrist. But yeah, this is basically how it works. And, you know, looking back, it's not the greatest solution because, again, it's really hard to, like, not bend your wrist because, you know, if you were to leave your wrist normal, you know, just like this playing, it's not, you can't see the screen because it's like, look, I got my hands just in front of me. Oh, I can't see anything. Okay, it's not going to work. So you have to bend your wrists, and even if you sit at like different angles, you can kind of make it a little more comfortable, but either way, it is very, very uncomfortable to play this game. Now, the way that it would work is, you know, as I said, you put this in, you've got your notes basically on the left side of the screen. On the right side of the screen, you use your little guitar pick, or I guess you could use a stylus. And the right side of the screen would have a guitar, and then you would just strum while playing. It's very goofy. You could actually use the whammy bar too, and I think you would use the whammy by, you know, you would hit a long note, and then you would just kind of like scribble anywhere on the screen. You could, there was also like a little whammy thing that would move. You could do that too. And you could even use star power. You could blow into the DS for star power. There was a star power meter like on the left side of the screen that you could tap. So the entire Guitar Hero experience was here. And the difference between all the games is actually pretty minimal, but just the fact that they did actually get it to technically work is so fascinating to me, and it's really, really cool. The only real downside besides, you know, giving yourself a lot of wrist pain is just the song compression. The songs sound really bad. And the set list is pretty small. I mean, all the games only have around 25 to 30 songs each. So you're not getting a lot of music, but you know what? For me, it worked for me. You know, I played the song so many damn times. It actually helped me get better at the game, and now I can play most songs on Expert now, and a lot of that is because of Guitar Hero On Tour. Now, something that is very interesting about these games is that all of them actually have their own decals, which is, you know, this little case on the outside. And this is something else I learned very recently too. So we've got the On Tour Decades decal right here, and just kind of I could just pop it in. I actually have no idea how to put them in. I'm guessing they just kind of, I don't want to mess with it. I'm guessing you just kind of pop off the plastic, then you just, you know, replace it. And something else that this box set comes with is stickers. And something that's very interesting about the stickers is that we have a Red Octane and an Activision sticker. And the reason that's so interesting is because Red Octane was the original company to create Guitar Hero. They made Guitar Hero 1, 2, and then I believe after that, Activision ended up buying Guitar Hero, and then they made 3, or Activision bought them after Guitar Hero 3. It was around that time period. But I think that's just kind of neat that, you know, both of the companies worked on this game. As for the instruction manual, it actually doesn't even list the songs. It just kind of tells you, like, how to use the guitar grip, and that's about it. This game even had multiplayer. So I think you could just, like, you know, play songs with people. You could do face-offs, which is similar to, like, Guitar Hero 3, where you could do a face-off against someone else. So yeah, I mean, this game, it really, it did the best that it could. Which, you know, it's too bad that the franchise is gone, but you know what? Maybe someday it'll make a resurgence. Because this franchise was the goddamn king in the 2010s. Like, everyone played Guitar Hero and Rock Band. And I mean, freaking everyone. Like, even some of my family members that don't play video games was playing Guitar Hero 3. I mean, it was a sensation. We do actually have some of, like, the artists. We have Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink-182, Ozzy Osbourne, Something that is also a little unfortunate about these games is there were very few exclusive songs. So if you had already been playing like Guitar Hero 3, World Tour, maybe even like Guitar Hero 2, a lot of those songs you could already play on console. So if you're looking for exclusive content, you got Wrist Pain, and you got like a very, very small selection. I think there was like a Chris Daughtry song that was on here that's exclusive, and there might have been a couple others, but most of them you can just play on console. And that's not the only Guitar Hero game. This next one is On Tour Modern Hits, and it's pretty much the same thing as On Tour and On Tour Decades. Again, the only difference really is just the songs. This one, of course, has its own decal. I actually really like this one. This one's kind of cool. It's got some roses. I like the whole orange tint going on. And I guess just the only difference with this, it says Modern Hits, which means the songs themselves are going to be more modern, or I guess they would have been modern back in the day. I doubt they're not modern anymore. I actually did not play a lot of On Tour Modern Hits because by the time that I started to play on Expert, that's around when this game came out, and I really wasn't interested in Wrist Pain. See, it's got Coldplay, Fall Out Boy, Foo Fighters. So it's got a lot of the more like generic poppy songs, but usually Guitar Hero stuck with rock music. Or maybe I spoke a little too soon, because this is Band Hero, and there's actually quite a few differences with this one. I guess the biggest one is just the music itself. It does actually have a lot of pop music, including like, Black Eyed Peas, The Killers, Pink. But something that's even more fascinating about this, just the fact that it exists to me is just so weird, because Band Hero is a spin-off of Guitar Hero, so now we've got a spin-off on the frickin' DS. And it's not just guitar. Like, you play more than just the guitar, and it's got the exact same guitar grip, again, with its own unique decal. This one actually looks pretty damn cool. I really like the colors in this one. But it's not just guitar. Like, you can play all 4 of the core instruments. So it's got guitar, bass, singing, because, of course, the DS has a microphone, and on the original DS, it's right there. So you can sing into it, and it has drums. How are you going to do drums on this? Well, I'll show you. It's very funny. All right, are you ready for this? Whoa, let's go. Time to drum. So I'm pretty sure this only works on the DS Lite anyway, because this came out, I think this was like the last Guitar Hero game that came out on the DS. So people were buying DS Lites at this point. No one really cared about the original DS. So basically, you just kind of, slap this on, get those corners. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. We're drumming all right. Sure are pushing those buttons underneath pretty good. Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is just, it's so dumb looking. Does it feel like drums? No, not at all. I mean, what are they going to do, right? Are they going to give us like drumstick styluses and you're going to like tap on your touchscreen? No, that's not going to work. That would honestly be a disaster if they did that. There is a little bit of like extra material, so you do feel a little more of an impact when you're actually playing, but at the same time, you could literally just play like this and get the exact same experience. So it's very goofy, but I honestly love that it exists. I think it's just very, very charming. Yeah, that's really all there is to say about Band Hero. It's just, it's impressive that they managed to fit, the same amount of songs. I think there's 30 in this one. I think it's actually the most out of all the games. It's got the most music out of all of the DS Guitar Hero games, and it includes multiple charts for Guitar Hero bass, got singing, and it has the frickin' drums. And that is Guitar Hero on the DS. It's very weird, it hasn't aged great, but I adore it. You know what? Come on, guys, let's bring back Guitar Hero. I want to see Guitar Hero on Switch. I want to use a guitar grip and do this with my freaking Switch tablet. Let's make it happen, Nintendo. Come on.